Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 90, and today we're going to be doing battle with Rally a Wowie. A Wowie, a Wowie, a Wowie, a Lowie, a Wowie. And so, before we dive into the deck, I do want to make mention I am doing some stuff with the Path of Champions. I think what I've kind of decided on what I want to do is I'm going to continue to make the daily constructed content and then deal with the Path of Champions stuff over at the ftpbus.com site as kind of a side project. This is the way I kind of did things with Expedition, as to where I made the daily Expedition video, and then kind of on the side I dealt with like the tier list and the updating the champion rankings and all that stuff. I just don't feel like I want my side project in Runeterra to really kind of be like dealing with how would you say it, like constructed-y stuff, right? I don't want to be making like tier lists or making meta snapshot kind of things. There's already people doing that. You can go look at Balco's stuff or Dr. Illaoi's stuff or Legna's stuff. There's lots of people putting together really, really fantastic stuff, and I don't feel like I have a lot to offer there. But I do feel like, the Path to Champions is here. It does need a little bit of love and attention, and I'm going to look to deal with it a little bit. I still want to deal with some of the speedrun stuff and getting together some strategy guides and stuff. There's not a ton of content out there for the Path of Champions, and I want to kind of fill in that gap a little bit. And so to kind of like get things back in order here, we will be making this daily video focusing on constructed. And then I might make some side videos and side guides and things like that, and keep the site as up to date and current as I can with the Path of Champions in that sense. And so, yeah, that brings us back to this deck, the Rally Illaoi, Wowie, it's a Illaoi. She's gonna visit the Emperor's Diaz with Vigio and then call it a day. That's what we get when it comes to things like this. But it's realistically a fairly straightforward deck, right? It has this core that I really love out of Demacia. I love running this kind of thing out of Demacia where we're running Fleet Feather Trackers, Petricite Broadwings, and Brightsteel Protectors. It gives you this really powerful early game interactive package. But for the most part, with the rest of the decks, you're just like trying to build up on that board and improve on it. So if you're playing any of your elites decks, any of your poppy decks, they're doing the very same and similar early game, but their mid and late game plan is much different. They're starting to go wide, to whereas the Illaoi decks are going tall. You're looking to basically load up an Illaoi, make an attack, rally and attack again, and that second attack should be for like 40 damage. And so there is some great interactivity coming out of the decks like this. You have it from the challengers. You also have the likes of Cataclysms and Tentacle Smashes and Concerted Strikes to interact with whatever your opponent's doing. You have the old standby and protection with the sharp sights. Again, it's just from where if you're playing the kind of classic go wide deck, instead of going wide, you want to go tall. That's what this deck is going to be doing. And so, fairly straightforward, I think. We'll talk about it a little bit more as the battles go on. But before we get into battle, you all know what we have to do. It's time to pay the pay-to-win price. We have to turn something premium. And today, the winner is the Eye of Nagakaboros. And so, welcome to the premium squad, my dude. May all of your tentacles be premium for the rest of the day. And let's go ahead and get into battle. And so I'm not sure if the battle thing is quite ready to pop up, or the deck tracker, I should say. I have lots of comments on the deck tracker. I'm not sure what the LOR master people did. There it goes. The deck tracker is coming up. They just turned off the history thing, or at least they said they did. I'm not going to click on it since that's a point of contention these days, but. I have real problems with the way that Riot has gone about dealing with that. They didn't fix their API. They just said, "Hey, don't use the API like this. We don't agree with that." And now the thing with that, and the thing that I have to say is, I have a developer account. I looked to make a bunch of stuff through the API. When Runeterra was first released, I thought I might want to dabble with doing stuff with Expedition. I didn't want to do it, and then. When I was kind of like transitioning from like Expedition to whatever we're doing now, I was looking at creating stuff similar to what the Dr. LORs in the world are doing, to where they're generating this content based on the match results. I have the entirety of Masters mapped. Like all the people that are in Masters, I have their IDs and everything. I can do the same thing. There's literally nothing from stopping me from saying like, "Hey, friends at Mastering Runeterra," that they're not my friends. I don't know any of those people, but there's nothing stopping me from going to them and saying, "Hey, I've made this tracker on my own. I have everybody mapped out. You can use it. Just don't tell Riot. Don't tell, don't use it on your stream. Don't tell your followers that you're using it." And then, uh, you know, whenever you're trying to rank up or hit the top of the ladder or whatever, you can have this deck vision thing. You can still just see it. And that's like my real problem and concern with the way they did it. If Riot doesn't want that to be available, but they do want the match history stuff to be available, then they need to come out and then just like limit it, right? You can say, look up like a 30-minute delay or an hour delay or a 1-day delay on the match histories, and then the people can still mine all of the data without having that like active thing right there where you can see the deck that your previous opponent just came out there and played. And so I really hope that what they're doing is just a band-aid fix until they update the API to work with some kind of delay or something. I think it's very unfair to say that, hey, this thing exists, but don't use it. And so we'll see. We'll see. Sorry, I didn't talk about that game at all. That was a big face smash. That's what this deck does, okay? You attack with the tentacles, you get the big Illaoi, you attack again, and then you win the game. Easy peasy. All right. But in terms of the mulligans, I like the cheap stuff. I like to start with Watchful Idols. I like to start with Fleet Feather Trackers. I like to start with Broadwings and start with the Bright Steels. Otherwise, it can go. So we'll hang on to the Watchful Idol. Look for those cheap bros that can come and interact. Some good stuff right there. And drop that Annie. I'm going to challenge you down next turn. Oh, shit. Okay, he's going to attack. I meant to play the Watchful Idol, and I got click happy. Alright, slow it down. Cut it down from a 10 to a 7 bust. You got to focus on the talking chimp here. Rip Annie. Ripperino, my dude. Coming for you. Right here, right up top. All right, good deal. Looking to just bank the mana this turn. I'd like to attack with Illaoi with a sharp sight next turn. We'll see if opponent does anything interesting here. It's like a little dangerous with this. I assume that he's out here playing Disintegrates, but if he's just going to spend his mana like this, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Right? We can't get out of a Disintegrate with a sharp sight, but we can stop a lot of their plays from being relevant. And we can't play a Bright Steel next turn anyways, and so... but now that he's done this, I feel fairly okay in protecting the Tentacle and seeing if we can't get an Illaoi bonus this turn. Maybe the Sea's Voice is the play, but... Sure. Strikes me as something a lame person would do. Trying to shut down my attacks and stuff, huh? Alright, well, let's keep the Broadwing around. Maybe it'll get a good hook later. Not a very compelling board here. I could see an argument to just take down the Spiderling so that the Petricite Broadwing still has 2 attacks. So if he like plays an Annie next turn, we still get the free hooks. But I don't feel like that's ultimately necessary here. Very suspicious. Okay. Let's just go big next turn. I want our Tentacle to have Overwhelm next turn. So let's go ahead. We'll protect Illaoi from whatever. And then we'll drop the Sea's Voice, open attack next turn. Should be a pretty big chunk of damage, and it's not going to be lethal, but it's going to get to the point to where the rest of our units are now scary, right? He should be scared of just a Buru Lookout plus a 3/3 tentacle on its own. Alright. Here comes the battle. Ooh, Garen. Garen is like the only card that makes me take pause here. Like, if we have to eat a stun, it's not that bad. The strike is just so good, though. Alright. I'm in. I have pivoted. Right, if he has like a stun for Illaoi, it's not that horrible here. We can still make the tentacles reasonably sized with the Buru Lookout in the future turns. Or if he has like a Disintegrate burn play or whatever for Illaoi, they aren't that big of a problem. Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting block. He has the four power block onto our 4/4, but isn't taking it. It's gonna be a Death Lotus. Nope. Just out here making weird blocks. I feel you, dog. I like to do the same thing too. Show me your reason, please. It has to be an AoE, right? I don't know what it would be though. What am I missing? Blade's Edge, okay. That's my mind blowing right there. Scorched Earth, sure. That's actually not horrible having the damaged tentacle get hit with the Scorched Earth. Now we get to summon a new tentacle that can't take that damage. But see, like, this is what I was talking about. I don't care if he has a spell for Illaoi or something, or our tentacle. Our board is just so big at this point that it doesn't really matter. Drop them emotes. I feel you, dog. I can emote with the best of them. There it is. Market a W for busts. Where we at? On to the next one. Almost back in Masters. We're getting real close. What you got? Same deal. Give me them cheap plays. I just managed to watch it's a new movie. Came out like 3 years ago, so it has to be new. It's called Black Widow. Does anyone ever know what happened to Scarlett Johansson? If you're not familiar with what old Scarlett Johansson did, she went and sued Disney, which, you know, that's kind of a big deal. If you are a supporter of Riot Games, and then you just come out and just put them on blast all the time, then they're probably not going to give you that much support, right? If like Mega Mogwai came out and just like started talking shit about Riot literally every day of the week and said, I'm going to sue you guys, they'd probably be like, well, you're not going to play our games anymore. And so when it comes to something like Scarlett Johansson and making Disney movies, like if they're just like, yeah, I appreciate the effort, but if you're going to sue us, you're not making movies with us anymore. Like, she's missing out on what is probably like literally hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm sure they would just pay her to make, pay her $20 million a year to make a Marvel movie every year for the rest of her life, and she'd be cutting it pretty strong. And so I remember seeing her like suing them. Like the deal was she was supposed to get a percent of the box office cut, and so it was supposed to be a box office release, and then are we really just fucked off the single combat? Sure. They said, well, we're gonna release it on Disney Plus. Fuck you. And she is like, well, fuck you. I want to get paid. Let's go to court over this. And then I never heard anything else after that. And so I hope she's doing okay. Like, she's gonna be doing fine, right? She has enough money to live like 10 lifetimes, but you know, it's her career, and so if she wants to continue to make movies, it's going to be tough for her to do. So hopefully it's all okay. I hope you're doing okay, Scarlett Johansson. All right, but back to the action here. Gonna protect our tentacle. I want to have this larger unit next turn. He's getting kind of like limited in the ways that he can interact with us. Oh, hang on, that didn't work out. I got my additions messed up there. I think we'll still be okay, but I was intending on our unit surviving that. I thought we were gonna have a 1 health tentacle. Whoops. I'm allowed to whoopsies once a video, right? I was busy talking about Scarlett Johansson, and so mistakes are inevitable and acceptable. But my other big thing with the Black Widow movie, it really kind of like irked me a little bit watching Shang-Chi. Like, that's what it gets compared to since they both came out in the same year. But in Shang-Chi, they did that thing to where you put a knife on a rope and you swing it around like it's a legitimate weapon. That's such a load of dumb shit, right? That's how you kill your friends. If you if you're like, hey, Bust, we have to go do superhero shit together. I say, cool. What's your superpower? What do you fight with? And you're like, man, I got this rope with a knife on the end. I just like swing it around like a madman and cut people up with it. I'd be like, fuck you. No, we are not partying together, my friend. I appreciate the offer. We're not doing it. And so I was really glad. I thought they had one scene where they were about to pull it out, and then it was something different. They didn't do it, and so I was okay with that, but ultimately pretty worried. All right, reasonable enough board here. He hasn't been doing that much stuff. His Broadwing's pretty weak now. We can like protect our Illaoi with a Bright Steel and then open with Jarvan next turn. Like, we have some stuff we can do. I don't think it involves playing the Eye of Nagakaboros. Alright, let's see where he goes with this. Boosted Bard. Okay. Ask me if I care. Bust, do you care? No, I do not. Thanks for asking. We could actually... We do have the mana to... No, we're one short. I was going to say, I got excited. I thought we had the mana to eye, and we don't. It's okay.
Stay still.
Nope. I forgot to have auto pass turned back on. I was playing around with the Path of Champions, and if you're trying to speedrun the Path of Champions, it's nice to have auto pass turned on. Forgot about that. We can't get any of these nice Illaoi kills here. We can get a flip. Maybe that's just good enough here to go ahead and try and deal with this Bard. Like, if Illaoi dies, I'm not that upset about it. This should be a good 5 damage hit. Boom. Now we say we can go into the next turn. We'll generate a Cataclysm off of the Jarvan. Might be able to use that to pick up a kill. Rip him. Smile upon victory, Nagakaboros. What you got? These aren't the cards we want. We're okay with Bright Steels if we have challengers. We don't have challengers here, so we'll go and look for some. How do you think the guy that named Illaoi came up with the name? Do you think he liked to say Wowie? I'm here with the hard-hitting analysis, okay? I call it like I see it. Here goes. Fleet Feather Tracker. Almost skipped right past the turn. Yeah, I hope we get a good Tentacle Smash. It's like, this is still a card, like, I think there's a world where this could be useful on its own. To where you just smash a unit and then have like a 3-1 left behind. I don't think we're quite there yet, but I could definitely see it being a thing. This board's a little problematic. It's like, do we want to get 2 for 1 to buy these things? I mean, it's probably okay. We don't have a lot of choice in the matter. The Broadwing plus the Shield of Durandi is not that bad, but I feel like we need to get these spawns going so we can get a Tentacle Smash going. Just like a little bit too slow here. You all probably came out here and skipped over my Path to Champions content. You didn't get to listen to me talk about the classic movie. What was it even called? You Can't Buy Me Love. Miss it. You miss out on all the good topics. I'm not going to tell you about it now. You got to go and watch the Path to Champions video. you gotta soak in old Bust playing them PvE games if you want to hear me talk about that classic gem. Miss it. You miss out on it. So what do we got? We can Tentacle Smash the small guys now, right? We could smash the Petricite Broadwing if we needed to. Lux, not that scary. I think I'm okay with this. Like, we could still protect whatever we need to protect with our Shield of Durandi. But I don't think we'll even need it this turn. Could have like a Mystic Shot here and then we can shield, but I think this should be okay. I'm ready for it, dude. Here it comes. Single combat onto Illaoi. Nope. It's unfortunate we don't get to drop the Broadwing now, but that protection onto her was pretty important. Take a 6 hit, not a big deal. Even better. You could have got me for the full 6, my dude. So now the question becomes, are we willing to play anything here? Like, if he has a assembly worker, that's pretty bad. If he has a remembrance, it's pretty bad. If he has any of the 6-cost unit generators, it's pretty bad. I think we're okay to just kind of like build towards this Cataclysm. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring the Thunder here. This will flip Illaoi, right? That's kind of a big deal. Yeah, we can Concerted Strike her into a flip if we need to. Nagakaboros. He had it. Looky there. I knew it was incoming. We ever just lethal here? We're gonna be a little short. We need another tentacle to do it.
A beacon through the dark.
Navigator, if you are here, the dead cannot be far behind.
All right, maybe we can pull it off next turn.
Tidings, but they're not boring ones.
And a Jace. Interesting. So he's not going to be able to play any 6-cost spells this turn. So what if we just say like strike down Jace? I don't want to get involved in combat with Jace right now. Well, she's already flipped though. That's not that big of a deal. If we Cataclysm into the Forge Worker, we can just what if we Lux is ignorable. Okay. That's kind of lame. Say something about this guy just having it all. We at least got to play around the assembly worker. The have-it-alls there are pretty painful. And then he just passes? Interesting. Okay. I mean, it's a little scary. It's going to be tough for us to develop a win here without the Illaoi anymore. But, right, I mean, if you're playing against the Jace Lux deck and they have Jace Lux on the board, you're going to start to struggle. But it's a very odd pass. All right, GG. Oh, good. Oh, good. There we go. Save the day. Whew. All right. Give me that mirror match, please. Give me that mirror match. Let's see what we can do here. So, all right. You all know how we do it. We hang on to the Broadwing. I could see an argument for hanging on to Tentacle Smash. Right, there's some decent targets in here, like especially if you get to hit, say, like a late 0 attack thing, or a smaller tentacle. But is that going to be too slow? Like, you still have this nice curve as well as to where you don't play anything turn 1, turn 2 we Broadwing, turn 3 we Tentacle Smash. Okay, we'll try it. We'll see. We'll put the tip in and see what it feels like. I wonder if he passes, do we just pass? That's kind of interesting. Like, I don't feel like the spell mana bank is that good. And so we're still kind of on board, but then he just has to convert his mana to spell mana. I wouldn't have hated it. Alright, now that we have a Sharp Sight in hand, let's make sure we get the Sharp Sight bank in here. So we can either Tentacle Smash or we can Sharp Sight something. We can Seize Voice. We have a lot of options this way. I don't think we need to be mana efficient here.
Protect and strike.
And Illaoi turns up. Okay.
Life is too short for fear.
Life is too short for fear. You're preaching to the choir, girl. Preaching to the choir. I mean, it is tempting to just go ahead and drop the sharp side. I don't think we need to. Like the extra points of damage aren't going to be necessary onto the tentacle. Now we can sharp sight protect our Illaoi when he blocks with the bright steel.
I'll stop you.
I don't know. Like if I'm not sure if this would have just been better on like the previous turn to have just blocked the bright steel with the Petricite Broadwing. I don't know, man. I don't know. But not particularly worried about his tentacles. This can continue to grow. We're just going to try and we'll open kill something on our next attack with Jarvan. So I don't think this is the biggest problem right now. Let's see what kind of interactivity he has. But if we could just like get to build up this turn, like if we get to Answered Prayer plus C's Voice, if we get to Tentacle Smash something small, I'd be reasonably content with all of those angles.
Ah, a beautiful day for sailing.
So ideally, he would like attack here. We get to put our 1/1 tentacle in front of his big one. He declines. Like, I don't want to leave ourselves in this spot where we're just going to get OTK'd. Alright, I think we're okay. He's going to have to give up a ton of board next turn.
I remember the fight.
Right, he could put the block on Illaoi, but he still gets slammed for damage here. Now, the downside to this is we don't have any interactivity, right? So if he's able to assemble like a big Illaoi style play, there's not much we can do about it, but... Interesting, Watchful Idol. Is this how you just go about getting a Jarvan attack next turn? Might be. Might be. Okay. I mean, so his, like, a Jarvan open would kill the Tentacle. We just picked up Shield of Durandi, though. We're pretty good at this game. That's it? That doesn't feel like how you win a game. Is he trying to send a Jarvan into our Jarvan? Like, this has to just be a Jarvan attack, right? And we're 1 mana short of really being awesome here. I think we're okay to just give up on the Tentacle, though. Like, he loses his Broadwing in the process. We get to protect our Jarvan. And then we can follow up with another Tentacle. Then we'll start getting the Cataclysms next turn. We can give the Tentacle Overwhelm with the Sea's Voice. I think this is all okay. Oh, why didn't you flip? Oh, you have to be attacking to get the Jarvan bonus. Whoops. We'll still be okay. Really wanted those Cataclysms, though. The Cataclysm was how we were gonna punch through here. Bright Steel and Concerted Strike. It just feels like ultra dangerous to not open.
This will be fun! Do you feel her presence?
Who dares defy my will? Leave this place.
Okay. So we'll get the Cataclysm next turn, but we don't have the Overwhelm anymore. I think it's still okay. We have a ton of stuff to do. How much is this? We need 8 mana for a Concerted Strike plus a Cataclysm. We can play a unit fairly safely. Alright, stopping there. Uh-oh. Okay. Ooh, that was an Illaoi version. I think we're fine. Are you all convinced yet? How many times do I have to say I think we're fine before you all believe that we're fine? Ooh, here come the cataclysms.
Providence guide me.
Okay, so we're looking to just take like 4 off the tentacle. We can block Illaoi with our tentacle, ignore the Jarvan block, and Concerted Strike him down.
Ours is but to do and die.
Okay. Do you believe in it yet?
For the king.
For the king, my dude. Ripped it. GG, 4-1.
Fine work, soldiers. Fine work.
Fine work. Mastered our universe. Alright, you all know how we do it. Fleet Feather stays. We'll look for some other cheaper bros. Yeah, that turn 1 timelines, it's all that matters. Okay, probably lost. Fun match. I had a good time with you, AvoQ. That was a very fun and interesting game of the Legends of Runeterra. Did you draw your card? You did it? Good job. Good job. Making these big decisions. It's another thing I love about this card. We could be here for an hour. Alright, we already got our attack in. We can't deal with the Sting Officer. We could Tentacle Smashing if he plays another card. Just have to stop and see what happens. We're going to get that opportunity good. I'm not like really excited about the Sting Officer generating the flashbang traps.
Patience, cautious, and quiet. This is
Totes my goats, sure. Ooh, no attack. That's beautiful. I was thinking in my little brain piece. I was like, I wonder if he just no attacks here, and we actually get to bright steal our bird. That's good. I like it. You're really gonna stance swap? See, that seems horrible. Maybe we'll get something to do here. We've already got all the top end in our deck. We're losing a 5-drop, that's for certain. I would kind of like to hang on to the Concerted Strike, but it's up to the hands of fate.
You dropped something. I dropped everything.
Uru Lookout is gone. Alright. Need to build up our tentacle a little bit more. The Might of Demacia. freshly drawn. Interesting. Like, I'm still mainly interested in dropping the Buru Lookout. I like getting this burst speed upgrade onto our tentacles so it doesn't get popped by Mystic Shots, and then we don't have to worry about protecting it with the Shield of Durandi anymore. And so, I think this is good.
Let us meet dark skies with bright souls.
Very interested in playing Garen next turn. I'm not just interested. I'm very interested. I hope you are as well. Oh, Illaoi turns up. That's different. That's a different story. She's pretty gigantic here with the tentacle. It would be in a space to where, like, if she gets popped by a Three Sisters, that's kind of shitty. To whereas if we play Garen, a Three Sisters isn't that bad. Maybe we just go for the Garen here. Since he hasn't played any of his interactivity yet. The perk to playing Illaoi, though, is it leaves us with Concerted Strike mana. Okay.
Illaoi, the sea, she misses you. Impossible.
I'll keep that mana up. I mean, we still have, like, without playing Garen, our hook on the Gust Monk is still good. And then I guess the other kind of perk to her is she does boost the tentacle out of the Gallant Rider range. Interesting. This feels like a Three Sisters to me.
We sail ever forward. Mother Serpent guides. Meet me. Witness truth.
Alright, well that's the 15 one would need for a flip.
Do your worst.
How choice would that be if he goes for a Three Sisters into Fury of the North to try and kill Illaoi? You need to say, no sir. No sir. No thank you. I got a Concerted Strike. You gotta do something. You got the neg 18 looking right at you. Here it comes. What did I tell you? Bringing in a Flash Freeze. Okay. That's manageable. He probably should have Flash Froze this as soon as we played Illaoi. Now he's got she's much more manageable when she's only a 2-attack unit. Nope. All right, so I mean, at this point, like, ideally, we'll just get to spend all of our mana this turn and play Fleet Feather Tracker, a Sea's Voice, and a Concerted Strike. It gives us lots of angles of attack for the round. Not going to block. Our health isn't in any jeopardy. Who knows? I don't want to just, like, lose random units to a True Shot Barrage or whatever the hell he's generated off of this Pharaoh's Fancier.
Since I will start ahead. Won't be hip.
Nagakaburo surrounds us.
Nagakaburo surrounds us. Alright, well, we should be pretty close to lethal. We just got Jarvan in the mix now? Okay. I can get behind that. So we want to do, like,
Obstacles ahead.
these two, come in with Bird, and then let Jarvan come in and get the Eye of the Dragon. Now he's got to hit us from a bunch of different angles. A lot of cool stuff coming at you, my dude. Fuck me. I didn't realize people still played that card. We're still in a great spot. I mean, we're going to be generating the Cataclysms off of Jarvan. We can just Cataclysm into like his dudes with the Overwhelm attacks next turn. He's got to be in a tough bind trying to get this stuff going, but he's still playing cards, you know? It's what we're here for. It's what we do. Okay. Why would he Mystic Shot his own unit? I don't get it. Oh, we lose our Jarvan that way. Clever. Poor Jarvan. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this thing. I guess I should say I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to kill this thing. Oh, that's not an It That Stares anymore. Shit. Oh, shit. That was not advisable. I think we're still okay, but not advisable. I'm losing it, fam. I'm losing it. We should have just played Garen here. Now we risk losing our Illaoi to another Mystic Shot. We've really given ourselves the opportunity to lose this game. Okay, I don't care about that stuff.
For justice, for Demacia.
Okay. Opponent signals GG. Let's see if it holds up. And Jarvan. As it was meant to be. He says, I got you for you, dog. I got this. You let me fall off the map, I just fall right on top of your deck. Whoops.
Look and see the glory of Nagakaboro.
Good job, my dude. All right, the pre-final battle. You all remember when we used to do that? We used to play that thing called Expedition. We would call it the pre-final battle and the match before the final battle. I miss it, man. I hope in the refocusing on PvP they bring in some kind of tournament mode or expand on Gauntlet or something so that it's not just like, well, we've made this ranked ladder. That's all. That's all you're allowed to do for 5 days of the week. Those other 2 days you might play Gauntlet if you want, but it's a sadness in me. All right, reasonable start. We got the interactive team of Fleet Feather Tracker plus Brightsteel Protector. Let's see if he wants to throw a unit down in front of them or just take the 5 damage. Broadwing's kind of interesting. Like I think it's worth it if we just like drop the Broadwing down a little bit here. Okay. We'll wait with the other Brigand. We'll get a better hook with the Fleet Feather Tracker. I like it. I like it.
Rivers shape the land and give it life. Nagakaboro surrounds us. Sweep them away.
All right, we'll have to limit the strikes off of that dum-dum. Now, how are we feeling about this turn? It was a pretty good hit with the Chime onto the River Shaper, but I mean, we can Bright Steel something down here. I think this is a good use of our mana. If we Bright Steel, then we can also follow up with a Watchful Idol. Okay. Oops. I meant to play Watchful Idol. Let's see if that comes down to haunt us. Okay. We'll be about a damage short on this turn, right? We'd have an extra bonus off of the idol. Oops. Holy shit, he hit 4 chimes. Not bad, my dude. Not bad. We're trying to get these damages in before disaster strikes through. All the denies. Sure. At least he doesn't get to add anything more to the board this round. Like, the big thing that we have going for us now is we have the double hooks, and so if he just, like, adds 1 more unit to the board, we can hook it outside of combat, and we should still be able to get, like, our answered prayers in. Garen's big. Alright, answer me the big prayers. Okay, so we hook his 2 bros out of combat, and we're coming in for 14. See if he's got a Will of Ionia or something. Yep. He does.
My heart and sword for Demacia.
Alright, so we need to be wider than him by 1 unit. It looks like we're really gonna struggle to do that. We might need to, like, find a Illaoi for an overwhelm. May just be just a touch short. We might be booming him with the sharp sight here. Well, we're gonna lose some units to his squad. Take a lot of this, though. It's only a 10 damage hit from the tails at the end. That's what's going to get us. Is we're also going to, like, this, I think this is maybe it's an okayish attack in hindsight, but like, not having the natural kill with the 11 power unit seems like a mistake. You just hit it. Okay. Good job, guy. Good job. Alright, this is what it is, I guess. I think if that hadn't gone so poorly there, we would have still had the lethal. I'd have to go back and look at it, but I think we were one unit wider than him at the end of the day. And so, if that's what it takes to win the game, then good job. Like, good job, I guess. Alright, the final battle is upon us, though. I'm ready. I hope you're ready. I'm excited. Where you at, dog? Trundlemere. I'm ready. It's a reasonable enough start. Like, I think, like, it's tough against this deck in that it's like I kind of like keeping the units that survive the AoEs. Maybe we get rid of the Fleet Feather Tracker, because, like, I want to find a... Well, it's tough, right? It's like I want to find our Tentacle cards. But, like, it's really tough against this deck to pass on, like, a 1-2-3. Like, if they slip a little bit, we really want to be punching all this damage in. But, like, the tentacles are kind of like safety nets, since the majority of their removal is, like, AoE stuff. If we're able to get up to that 3-power tentacle, then we can get around a lot of it. Okay. Curious why he paused. Like, that would have been a good spot to just Vile Feast this Fleet Feather Tracker. Curious if he was thinking of dropping the Faces or Vile Feast, or how that came about.
The sea she calls, the world we answer.
So he's going to be double ramped next turn. Nothing we can do about it, but we'll have a good Tentacle Smash, and then if his play is just like a Trundle, then we still have good hooks to get Trundle out of combat, and we'll kill both of his ramp cards. But fairly scary turn here. I wonder if he ever has like a Fury of the North or a Three Sisters for Fury of the North and gives that guy a 3+3+4. That would actually be a massive disaster if he went for the combat trick there. Okay, Trundle we're fine with. So we come in for 7. We have a fairly meaty board. That can survive avalanches. It can survive blighted ravines. We should be able to drop Illaoi next turn, and then still have a challenge for Trundle. I think this is a good spot to be in. They, of course, have like a lot of interactive elements that can cause us problems, but I think this is good.
Stand and be tested.
Alright. Eye of Nagakaboros come within me. I'm ready. I'm ready. Alright, 20-piece nugget coming right at you. Did we do it? Did we get there? Is it enough? He's playing cards. He hasn't given up yet. Boom. GG. 5. Oh no, 6 and 2. Nailed it. Nice little 75% win rate, best deck in the format. GG, LOL. And so we can pull it up a little bit more and talk about it. I mean, it's fine. I feel like we got a good kind of overview on what was happening there. I'm not sure in what world I like this more than the Ionia-based Illaoi deck. And so in my kind of like practice games, I was running into an excessive amount of like hushes and ways to kind of like counteract this go tall strategy, which is a real pain for the Ionia-based version of this, right? That's what we've been taking into the gauntlets here quite a bit. Just the being able to like be all in with your Illaoi and your opponent like Herder, here's a hush, like that's extremely painful to deal with. Is to where with the Demacia version you have a lot more interactive elements. We saw some of those games we could pull off a little bit without requiring an Illaoi to be around. And so I don't have an answer to which one is better. I think you'd have to just kind of pick and choose. And if you're taking it into Gauntlet, then you have like a little bit more opportunity to say, hey, I just want to ban the deck that's probably carrying hushes or ban the deck that's carrying denies. and that leaves you with a lot more opportunity to decide which version you want to take. And so I think probably in general, just with your kind of casual ladder grinding, that this Demacia-based version is a little bit better, but I haven't like fully formed an opinion on what I think is better in terms of like Gauntlet. But it's still a very powerful deck. It has a pretty reasonable matchup table. It does get annihilated by the Viego Deserter deck, but other than that, it fares pretty well against the majority of the meta. And as I've taken to bitching about here quite recently, is the meta is so varied that it doesn't matter, right? The Deserter deck is like it's like 5 or 8% of the meta, and so if you're going to play 10 games a day, you'll probably play against it, maybe once today, maybe once tomorrow, and it's just not worth worrying about. And so I really think that until you get up to the very top end of the ladder, it just doesn't matter. You just pick up something that you enjoy, or you pick up something that has a good matchup against the field. And this fits the bill there. It has a pretty good matchup against the field, but it does get bombed by the Deserter deck. And so, yeah, that was that with this. And again, I think I've kind of figured out the future of what I want to do. I am going to continue this daily video of playing Constructed. I'm going to continue the site with the Path of Champions stuff as kind of a side project. And I will probably have some videos of Path of Champions popping up in your feed. But I think I'll try and call that something different. And then the Battles with Bus series will continue on with us playing Constructed. And then with the Path of Champions, I'll call it something different. And you probably won't get a video every day of the week. But I definitely want to devote a bit of attention and a bit of love there, as opposed to just being 100% devoted to the latter. And so that's going to do it. That being that, hope everyone enjoyed the video. You maybe learned how to Wowie with a Illaoi in the deck with no rally. Pretty good, right? You maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.